How to show team dynamics without exposition in military thrillers. Learn to portray authentic team dynamics through dialogue and action alone in your military thriller writing. Perfect for novice writers seeking creative writing tips. Writing exercise 4. Showing team dynamics without exposition. Right, imagine this. You're writing a military thriller, and you want to create a realistic, gritty team environment. It's not just about bullets and explosions. It's about the way characters interact with each other, the tension simmering beneath the surface, the layers of camaraderie and conflict. But there's a catch. You can't just tell your readers, David was annoyed with Mike, or the team didn't really trust their commander. Nope, that's exposition, and it tends to flatten your scenes rather than bring them to life. This is where writing exercise 4 comes in, a nifty challenge that's all about showing team dynamics entirely through action and dialogue. No exposition allowed. It's a fantastic way to sharpen your storytelling skills, especially if you're interested in writing a military thriller. After all, in high-stakes situations, what people say and do tells you far more than any narrator's description. So, how do you go about it? Well, for starters, think about the environment and workload of your team. Military units move fast, and decisions happen in seconds, which means subtle clues in behavior can reveal a lot. For instance, a squad leader who cuts off a subordinate mid-sentence, or a soldier hesitating before passing information, isn't just indicating impatience or doubt. It's hinting at deeper conflicts or relationships. You don't say he was irritated. You show irritation in the tension of a clipped response. Let's consider dialogue first. When crafting people's conversations, think about what's not being said. How do the characters speak around the elephant in the room? Maybe a loyal soldier keeps up a cheerful tone, but it's a bit forced. A few awkward pauses or clipped replies will tell us everything we need to understand about their mental state. Or a veteran might drop a sarcastic comment just to test another's nerves. That's much more engaging than a big paragraph explaining their history together. And with actions, every glance, shrug, or hurried glance at a watch can communicate layers of unspoken information. The way team members physically interact, whether they give a respectful nod, a wary side-eye, or even avoid eye contact, reveals alliances and tensions without needing a word from a narrator. For example, instead of writing, Mark didn't trust Sarah, you could have Mark consistently ignoring her suggestions or double-checking her instructions, which in turn creates subtle friction readers pick up on instinctively. Now, mistakes here are common for novice writers because exposition feels safe. It's tempting to just explain what's going on rather than painstakingly craft scenes that show it. But that's where creative writing classes come in handy. They push you to refine those interactions and embrace the show, don't tell rule. A focused writing course, especially one tailored to building tension and character interplay like a military thriller writing course, can really boost your skills. During this kind of exercise, you learn to trust your readers, letting them piece together relationships and conflicts naturally through dialogue beats and the way characters behave under pressure. For example, during a raid or briefing scene, rather than summarizing who's the leader or who's ready to crack, you write the conversation so that their personalities and attitudes are clear. One soldier might test the chain of command subtly, another might step up when decisions go sideways, all without ever spelling it out. You also start to appreciate how different personalities force different types of communication. Some might speak in clipped, direct phrases showing discipline and control. Others might use humor or sarcasm as a defense mechanism. Conveying this effectively makes your military thriller's team feel genuinely multidimensional, heightening the realism and stakes. What's brilliant about this exercise is that it's not just about dialogue or action alone. It's the combination that builds atmosphere and authenticity. Because in those moments of crisis, characters don't neatly explain their feelings. They react, they interfere, they clash. Showing those interactions organically demands practice but pays off massively when your scenes ring true. So if you're thinking of writing a story that features a tight-knit but flawed team, especially in a military context, this practice will stretch your creative muscles. Next time you sit down to write, challenge yourself. Can you portray a conflict or alliance without ever saying what the relationship is? Use clipped commands, loaded silences, quick glances, interruptions, and even miscommunications to convey real tension. For those wanting to improve further, I can't recommend enough to check out a military thriller writing course that dives into exercises like this and more. It's designed specifically to train writers in the art of showing rather than telling, and perfect your craft in writing a military thriller. So, take this challenge on board. Next time you're writing about a team, forget the exposition. Instead, focus on their interactions, their unspoken personalities, and their split-second decisions. Your scenes will feel sharper, your characters more authentic, and your readers absolutely hooked. If you want to enroll and start your journey learning all these skills and more, visit the link above to Enroll Now and Start Writing course. It's a brilliant way to get hands-on practice with exercises similar to this, with expert guidance to make sure your writing hits the mark. Happy writing, and remember, sometimes what you don't say speaks the loudest.